Live in effect.
Don't neglect what you were born into. I know.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Gift of Gab. I am your host, Gab. Coming back to y'all with a very special episode. Today I got my people with me. So y'all see a few of my people in the room. Y'all wave at them, let them see your faces. Today is a very special episode for me because, recently we lost our grandparents and some other family members. And I just wanted to highlight legacy. It's very important that we continue on the things that our people before us set into motion. So this episode is we're going to be talking as a family unit about the importance of legacies within our families. So just a little bit of background information to start off. So like I said, our grandparents are Jimmy and Lillie Moreland. They are born and raised in Georgia, but migrated to Florida at some point. They were born in the 30s. They worked in the fields for all of their lives, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody born to sharecropper parents. They had 9 kids, and for many of us, their house was our Mecca. It was a safe space. It was a place to meet up with our first best friends, our cousins, to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, go fishing, some of our greatest memories. So before we get kicked off with the questions, if everybody can go ahead and unmute yourselves, and I'll just go in order that I see you on the screen. Please just let the audience know your name and let them know you to Jimmy and Lillie, our grandparents, or if you're their child, let them know your connection to them. And if you're a grandchild, what generation you are. So first name I see is Sha. And you're on mute. Okay, there you go.
Okay. So I'm Shy, and I think I'm the second generation, if I'm correct. I'm one of the great grand. What'd you say, Gabby?
We can't see your face.
Oh, I think I'm the second generation. I'm a great grand. Third. I'm the fourth generation.
Third.
Sorry. Third.
Third.
She said third. She said fourth.
Third. There's gonna be a lot of editing. Third.
I think I'm gonna go with my
I'm
mama.
here, granddad voice.
I'm gonna go with my mama.
Wrong.
You wrong.
I just know I'm great. I don't really use
third.
Your mama is
listen.
My mom is what?
I
One,
never really
and
use,
you 2,
oh
and
my
that gal
God.
is 3.
Can I finish my introduction?
Yeah, but we got to get
we
it
gotta
right
get
now.
the numbers right.
Don't go to line for these folks.
DJ.
Come on, start the video.
Listen. Growing up, I never really used the term great. I just always say the grandma or granddad. So I don't really like to use that word. So I just go by grandma and granddad. So
our grandmother is our grandparents' daughter, right? The oldest.
Yes.
So then mom is our grandmother's first granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would be the second granddaughter in line.
And
so
she's breaking it down for you.
Mom, you was wrong.
Next person on the line is Tevin.
I'm going to popcorn it over to Tevin.
Oh, mute yourself.
I'm sorry.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Go.
All right. My name is Tevin. I better known going by as Youngblood. Third generation to Lillie Mae. Lillie Mae and Spodaville. So yeah, it's the third generation. So I don't know what you're doing.
Next up is I see iPhone user. You going by Pinky or Quavada?
You skip somebody, they don't have the camera on.
But I'm going the way I see it on my
side. I want to point it out.
Go Q.
Thank you.
Number
show. Okay. I'm Quavada Moreland. I am the second generation.
And we are gonna be talking about somebody else near and dear to our heart on this episode, Miss Kennedy Maria Seegers. What is your relation to Miss Seegers? Oh, you went out. We can't hear you.
I am Kennedy's mother.
Awesome. All right. Next up, we got April. Give it to us.
Live in effect. I am April Moreland Johnson. I am the second generation granddaughter of Jimmy and Lillie Moreland. My dad, which is the second oldest, Jimmy Moreland the second.
All right. Next up, we got Miss.
It should be second too. Me third.
I know what I'm doing. I got mine right. Don't check me.
Miss Wilson, introduce yourself and your.
Hey.
Hello, I'm Lisa Wilson. I'm the eldest of all of the grandchildren. I was actually raised by my grandparents, so they are my grandparents / parents. So my grandmother and grandfather had 9 kids, and I made 10.
All right. And next, you got it right. Yes, we can. Scooby, introduce yourself.
That there.
Well, my name is Jimmy Moreland, one of the Jimmys. I am the third generation.
You the who?
The third generation, and I go by the name of Scooby.
All
Y'all,
right.
who I am.
Scooby, you the second generation.
I Scooby third and you second.
Third of Jimmy's. He the third of Jimmy's. I'm with him. He the third Jimmy.
Scooby.
My mama's second
After her.
generation. I'm third. My kids are fourth. That's not how it goes.
No, you thought wrong.
No,
Whoa.
But I stand to be, I stand to be corrected. I stand to be corrected.
Scooby, that there.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Back it up for us. Okay.
My name is Jimmy. I'm one of the Jimmys. I'm going to Jimmy Moreland the third. I am the third generation.
He lying.
Second generation. Well, I'm in a generation. I don't know which one it is.
Second generation, third Jimmy. You got it.
I'm the third generation.
Yeah, wrong.
last but not down in the corner, we have D Ward. You
All
want
right.
to show your face one time?
No face, no
I
case.
don't have a camera.
He lying.
At
Yes,
this
you do.
workstation. April, you please hush.
Gabby, can you turn the camera on your sister?
So it's a total of 9 kids. I'm gonna correct everything they said. 9
correct.
kids. Scooby
Bobby.
is the third Jimmy. We got a total of 4 Jimmys. And I am the second generation. The third daughter of 4 daughters. I am her daughter.
Right.
Who is that? What's her name?
D Ward. All right. So jump into the let's start off. So anybody can take this. Everybody can take this. Tell us, audience, one of your fondest, greatest memories of grandma and granddad.
Ooh, it's a
This
lot.
might not can't be for the camera, yeah.
My grandmother is the fat bag and the biscuits for me.
I used to love, we used to be young, we used to sit out on the porch, wait for grandma to get off that bus in the evening time, run out there and grab her hand and her bags and come home and take her socks and shoes off just so we get that Spam sandwich.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, unlike Scooby, we didn't grow up on the Spam. We went to Burger King, so we had
Yeah,
to eat
we had
that
some
kind of
nice
meal
little
like that.
meals.
I'm going to talk about one of the memories that just popped up on my timeline on June 2nd on Facebook. I posted 4 or 5 years ago that my grandma, I went around to the house and she took me on one of her daily scavenger hunts. She asked me to go to the store and pick up her some number 2 potato chips and some brim cookies. I left. I already knew what the number 2 potato chip was. Those are the Munchos that has the number the $2 number dollar sign on the bag. I went to 5 different stores looking for brim cookies. I asked 10 different people about brim cookies. Lord, my grandma was looking for graham crackers. I finally found them though. I found them. And that memory popped up June 2nd, which was 3 days ago. And today I stand to say I wish I can go on that scavenger hunt just one more time.
Absolutely.
I go to 100 stores just for
Absolutely.
because I miss them.
Anybody have a memory to share from like our fishing trips with granddad and grandma, getting up early?
I have one memory with the fishing trips when she used to take my kid. She and my grandfather used to take my children fishing. My oldest son, Victor, he always, from a child, he wore glasses. So I guess during the fishing trip, his glasses fell over into the ocean. So my grandmother told me when she got home, she said, you know, we tried all we could to fish him out, but we couldn't get him. We could not get him. So they tried to fish out the glasses, and I don't know if she thought he was gonna get in trouble, but I guess she told me that to let me know that they did try to fish him out, but they couldn't get him. So.
And before we move, I wanted Donna to briefly share one of the memories that makes me laugh about like granddad with Tyler, about even Tyler take care of granddad while her and grandma went to the store. She's still on there.
Oh yeah. Okay, I can do that. So this was once when granddad was shortly after he became immobile and he was confined to the wheelchair. Grandma wanted to go to the store. She said, but I got nobody here to watch your granddad. So I said, it's okay. We'll leave Tyler and leave a cell phone with him. And granddad refused to say that a child was going to watch him. He said, no. Tyler, hey, Tyler, go with your mama. Tyler, he said, get out and go with your mama. And Tyler said, grabbed him by the handles of the wheelchair. Go, grandma, enjoy yourself at the store. I got him. And granddad had
How old was Tyler during the time?
Tyler might have been 9.
Don't blame granddad though. 9 years old.
Before we move forward, I will say one of the memories I have is when me and Pat were little. We were at the house with grandma, and grandma sent us down to Mr. Paul, and she said, "Y'all run down there and get me a Pepsi, and y'all run back." And she, she gave us such urgency to get her that Pepsi. So me and Pat all poked down there to the store, and we all poked back. And when she opened the soda, it sprayed everywhere. And she was so mad. And we were like, but grandma, you told us to run. So, the soda shook up. She just went off on us so bad.
She gave y'all some words.
I remember them store runs.
Words. She gave us.
I know she gave some words.
What does legacy mean to you? And why is it important to you?
Thank you.
Legacy.
Tradition. To me.
Legacy is something like everybody want to leave here being remembered as. There's only certain people can live up a legacy, but it's according on who follow that legacy.
Okay. And tradition?
Tradition, yeah.
I'll say for legacy, we are her legacy. Her legacy is living. I read something that says most people are forgotten after 3 generations. She already proved that to be wrong and a lie. She met 4 generations. So we are her legacy. That's what legacy is. We are her living, breathing, her, not just her, all of our loved ones, grandma, granddad, Kennedy, Pinky, jump in. We are their legacy. Legacy is the action of us continuing on. It's our connection. It's us staying connected. That's the legacy for me.
Pinky, if you want to jump in, talk to me about what legacy is to you.
Oh, I'm getting too emotional. I'll piggyback off of what Donna said. It is all the memories, the traditions. It is some of the things, even what Lisa mentioned, the breakfast, just always being known for, she'll always be known for her biscuits. It means a lot to me. Even though I know I wasn't around a lot of the times, but there are certain memories that I have that will always be with me as long as I am on this earth. They will always be there for me. I just remember my first set of towels when I left to go to college. Grandma bought, and I'll never forget it.
What?
That girl.
And we had to share towels, Pinky. You got a whole set of towels?
She bought me a set of towels when I left to go to Virginia State. So I'll never forget that. It means a lot to me. The Moreland name means a lot to me. it is so much to have, just to be able, like you mentioned, the generations to look back and just see how many. It's truly not about status. It's not about what you drive. It's not about what you have. It's truly those moments that you have, that family, the memories. All of that is important. And the fact that we all have these memories, when I just think back to being raised or being in the trailer, it's not about anything about homes. It's not about the cars. It's not about any of that. It's truly about, I don't care if you live in a shack. It is truly about those memories that you make and that will forever live and stay with you. So I'm always grateful and appreciative for all of that. I am.
Absolutely. And thank you.
And Gabby, and what if I could say one thing about my grandmother, she made all of her grandkids, no matter if they were her great grandkids, her great great grandkids, she made everybody felt like they were special and that they were number one in her heart. And my grandfather, on the other hand, our granddad, he was just totally different. He loved the guys. He loved his sons, his grandsons. It was all about them. He loved his daughters and granddaughters too, but he loved his sons. Those were his world. But my grandmother just made everybody seem like they were just number one in her heart. Everybody knows she was two-faced, but she was a good two-faced. She would probably talk about me if I'm not there, but when I come around, she's gonna talk about Ruth. And then if Ruth's not around, she's probably gonna talk about Clyde or Scooby or Victor, right, whoever. But that's just the way she was. It was just whoever was there that day, that's who she catered to. And whoever brought the most scratch offs and things. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I had everybody to introduce themselves. So you are Auntie Ruth, and what's your relation to Grandma Lillie Mae and Granddad Spoke?
I'm her fifth child.
All right.
I'm her daughter.
You're second not daughter. Right? You're the second oldest.
Second oldest daughter.
Okay. And you were a part of her life for her latter years, just being there with her. Okay. Yes. So right now we were just what legacy was, and we're about to move on. So I heard things like memories and tradition and how we remember people. So we Donna mentioned that I believe grandma got to see 4 generations. That's very, very rare that somebody would live long enough to see those many or was it was 4 or 5?
It was 5.
Five.
It's 5.
5. Because Jay with Kennedy made 5.
And Snoop with SJ.
Donna.
No, it's actually Snoop with SJ because Jay up a little bit on Snoop. So it's
no, he ain't.
4 generations. She got to see 4.
5.
So how do we see her legacy showing up currently? What are some things that we see that we know that we got directly by way of our grandparents that's showing up right now in our lives?
I know one thing, they was hardworking people and they made sure they had the best.
Definitely hard work.
I would have to say the lingo.
Hush, you talk about me.
They did work. They supported their kids.
How was that? So Evan mentioned lingo. So what's some of the words that we inherited from our grandparents?
Ooh, so
I don't know.
Frags.
No, some of the stuff that she said. Hush your mouth and let's go down south.
Set tea.
Set tea.
I found
instead of temperature, that temperature dropping out there.
and then the
obituary. My favorite one is living up happening. I still
living up.
Living up happen.
I'm gonna tell you like an IS is. Yeah.
What?
Your job and your BTT.
No, one day I went over there, she told me she had to wash 2 sheens of clothes.
And
oh yeah, when Lisa take her to the bank and get money, she'll tell Lisa, Donna gonna get that alert. She always say, honey, she got a good line, but a hook rusted.
about
Oh, y'all mentioned about the dish area.
like I can recall us crowding up at her house as
That's
kids.
it. That's what I was going at.
I got one thing that all us will remember. Go bring me spoke big black belt.
No,
I don't remember that. I ain't never
not
had
us, Scoop.
That's
Not-
us.
Not
Scoop.
us.
Not us.
Not
We
us.
didn't get
We didn't
whooped.
get whooped.
Well, Scoop is out there like anyway. That was for him and Tyrone only.
The bad
We
ones,
didn't
right?
get whooping.
Yeah, that was for him and Tyrone and both.
Granddad didn't even whoop like that. If you got to whoop him by granddad, you was real bad.
Oh,
I
Scooby.
got one whooping by granddad.
Let's go back. So
One whooping by granddad.
because again, generations play a lot into our lives. That generation, those 4 generations that grandma got to see. What's one of the ways that we see togetherness showing up nowadays? Like I'll mention like for me it was like to be able to celebrate her 90th birthday where everybody came together, not just us, but friends of the family, extended family members, and the fire department, and our sense of togetherness right now on this call. Like, I think this is a part of the legacy that they passed down to us.
And that's one of the things I wanted to chime in on too, was the bond. That's exactly the legacy that I remember, that I can think of, is the bond that they kept, that, you know, piling up in the trailer, holidays, weekends. And before she passed, I remember taking one of the Thanksgivings up to Virginia and going up there to Thanksgiving to celebrate with, you know, my kids and my brother and his kids. And it dawned on me, I said, you know, no, I say there was never a Christmas or Thanksgiving that trailer was empty coming up as kids. We were there 100-fold. There was no emptiness, and it beat me up over and over, like my grandmother's down there, but I know, you know, Lisa, you know, y'all had her back and stuff and or whatever, but it ate at me and say, that's something I would never do again. I would never want to leave that trailer abandoned with just my grandma and my just them there, because that's not how I remembered it being. That's not how I was raised. We were always there. My mom and dad used to get us, drop us off, and keep it going. Never, she'll talk, but we were always welcome there. Me and my brother, we would get there, go after school, on the weekends, just to meet up with our cousins. So that bond that they helped build between all of us is so special. And I see us still carrying that bond on today. Like you say, we didn't have technology back then, but even with these Zoom and FaceTime videos that we can carry on, that means a lot. We can now show that to our children, you know, that this is what our grandparents taught us. This is what they gave us. This is what they left us, that bond. And I'll forever cherish that bond with each and every one of you guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I read a quote that said, "You're your first best friends." And I think our family is a true testament to that, right? Because we grew up, like, you know, I remember going to school and I could always say, "Oh yeah, that's my cousin, that's my cousin, that's my cousin."
20 cousins.
That had that extent of cousins around them, you know, people would just be like, "Dang, you got like a lot of cousins," but that was not unfamiliar to me. That was something that was like just commonplace. My cousins were always around, and I would have, you know, friends that were like their cousins had to come from out of state or somewhere, and I'm like, you know, I don't really understand that concept because my cousins all right here at my grandma's house.
Right.
That April said about, like, yeah, when we were growing up physically, you know, we were all there together at the trailer, in the trailer park, in everybody's yard playing marbles and whatever we could get our hands on. But as we became adults and we all went out our separate ways, she was still the great connector. Because I might not have spoken to Panky in 2 months, but she gonna tell me, you know, Panky girl got a new job. Yeah, she'll like to hear from you, you know, call it. Or, you know, maybe I don't talk directly to Scooby very often, but I'm going to know what Scooby, his kids got going on. You heard about Scooby and, you know, Jay and this. So just as much as she connected us, her house, him, they connected us as kids because we had that place where we all linked up. And I mean, for some of us, it was our main house, not our second house. But she did it even as we were adults. She kept us all connected. And now, the biggest thing I want to say here now it's going to take our work to build it. Now we got to, you know, like April was saying, these FaceTime calls, the text messages, the group messages, where we trying to get together at the trailer every couple months or whatever. That's a big part of the legacy. That's a big part of why we couldn't let that go. That's that's our spot for them. So she did. I realized it every day. I knew at least something. I heard some news about everybody every time I talked to her. At least one. At least some of y'all every time I talked to her. You heard about Young Blood? He moved. So she was our great connector, and now it takes all of us to stay connected. You got to spend that 2 seconds to send that message saying, hey, cuz, what's up? You good? You coming through? Because she did that. She made it easy for us. She kept us all connected.
Let me point out one of the things Donna mentioned. I think she had something came to her 2:00 in the morning, like usual. And she pointed out one of the things that they did as grandparents that they didn't have to do. These people went and got, after all their kids were grown and out of their house, these people went and got 2 Astro vans back to back, just for who it was for? Her grandkids, to make sure that we were okay. Them people could have went and got a sports car. Granddad could have went and got his pickup truck 2-seater, but they went and got vans for their
green van.
They had a blue one
and the
before
blue
the
one. Yeah, I remember the blue
and
one.
their Astro vans for their. It couldn't have been for nobody but their grandkids. Right. Again, to load us all up, to come pick y'all up from school, us from school, however, to take the trips to Gainesville, the trips to Orlando, for us to be together. They didn't have to do it.
I know my children like to go with us, so that's major. We could not see that as kids, but like April said, when I thought about that, I woke up and I thought about that. Like, they got 2 minivans when most people in their life would be downsizing. They finished raising their kids.
Yep.
Back to our parents.
My mom and dad, they had many bad times, many bad times. And like you say, coming up young, we didn't see it. But thinking back now, if it wasn't for grandma and granddaddy, a place to go stay, a place to go lay our heads when lights were off, my dad going in the refrigerator, taking meat, stealing meat to come feed his kid. It was because of them. They made sure we did not miss a meal. They made sure we were comfortable. They made sure of that.
Hey, go ahead. Scooby, before I move on, you go ahead. I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I'm here. It was just that, like, no matter what, the love was there because no matter how many times we got whoopings, no matter how many times we got lectured, we always went back.
Yep. And get whoopings.
Yep. Well, some was just better than others. And Scooby, you were the one. You would have really.
But you know what?
One
thing I can say. They made me who I am today. All them hard whoopings, all that stuff paid off. That made me the man that I am today. That's why I know it run through all of our blood that we try to be the best parents that we can be, no matter what.
That's the perfect segue into the next question. And I especially want the younger and older grandkids to especially chime in on this question. What is our responsibility? Donna touched on this. Lisa touched on this. But what is our responsibility in continuing her legacy?
I'm tired. It's hard.
I think we're doing it, Gabby. I think we're doing it now.
Just preserving.
At the same time, one at a time. I heard April come in first, and then Lisa, and then Snoop.
I was making
basically,
joke, but go ahead.
Yeah, basically just preserving the tradition. That's all. Just keeping it alive.
What would you do?
Tradition. What, like, we just say we preserve it? How do we actually do it?
I mean,
I've read articles that talk about the Black family legacy and how, we maintain that it's hard because a lot of us move away. A lot of us are not centrally located. Like when we were all growing up, we were all close to grandma's house. So it was easy to get to her house. For the most part, it was easy to get there and do something as a family. And a lot of us, we don't live in the same city. Some of us don't live in the same state anymore. So what are some of the greatest challenges you find as one of the older cousins? And Donna and Scooby, I'd like y'all to chime in too. What are some of the challenges y'all see as older cousins trying to keep that going?
Yeah, but I don't have a challenge.
Let me say this. I just want to take a step back because I think we should we should know the ones that are keeping, you said keeping the legacy going. A big thing, a huge thing we're doing is keeping that trailer going. And maybe some of the younger ones can't see it yet. And I know you guys got, a lot of you guys got a great relationship and you love your in-laws and you love your best friend, family. But I just want to keep reminding you guys, that's our place. Not one of our kids, our grandkids need to ask for permission to open a refrigerator in there, jump on a bed, use a bathroom, and nobody else is going to give you that space like that. That's
I
what
see it like this too.
and that is
I jump,
super important.
I pick it back on you, Donald, which is true. Because if y'all look at it, that is a home away from home. We got a place to go to.
For every
And the
last
more
one.
we all support that, the more we support that, we always got us a place to go to. Can y'all hear me?
And not only us, but even our offspring. My son, he go there like he go sleep in grandma's bed like that's his. So where else will we have that? Yes, we got great people that we've met along the way, but don't neglect what you were born into. I know family gonna call us great as hell. Yeah, we're gonna talk about each other and everything else. But when it comes from outside forces, we're gonna burn it down before we let one of us go down. So y'all have to pour into that. So many times we take our best talents to the outside, and I got no problem with that. But don't forget to put it here too. This is where you can always come. Because of this, we should never see anybody on the street. And that's what they were. That's as we became older, anybody, the world is so unforgiving. But we know we got a place where if you make a mistake, you need to go back and regroup. Some of us have homes like that for our kids, but this is for all of us. If you consider yourself a Moreland, if you consider yourself connected to that's a home for you. You don't have to ask, can I put my feet up on your couch?
When we went back there,
all equal when we go there.
And we laid out in the grass. It was about 5 of us, and it was simple, just the presence of each other. And Donna, remember you said that's all. No, I said I think I said something about this. All I needed, and back then that's all we had. We were all we had. And we can't get away from that. And I know, Gabby, you said some of the struggles, today people live out of state, out of town, but we can make effort to do whatever we want to do when we want to do it. And I think sometimes we get caught up and take advantage of family because we know family's going to be there. Oh, I'll catch up with them. They're going to be there. But once that family is gone, we can't get that back. We can never get that back. So we got to go, like I said, we got to go just as hard and pour into what we got right here, what we had back then, just like we do on the outside.
Making sure that my kids, stay together, love one another, stay close to the family,
So before we move on, I just wanted to go back to Panky, just really quickly and highlight Ken's beautiful life and all that she was. And, we know about the Kennedy Maria Seegers Foundation. So I just wanted to just give you the opportunity to speak on your role and our role in continuing on Kennedy's beautiful legacy.
I'm so at a loss for words. As far as Kennedy's legacy, everyone know I was big about education. And not necessarily, whatever you choose to do in your life, whether it's to go to college or take up a trade or whatever it is that you want to do, I'm big about supporting that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you want to do, I want to support that. And that's what the foundation is about. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to give back because Kennedy know I was big about doing that, whether it was community service, whatever it is. And she was big about family. She loved her family. Yeah. She loved her family. And I'm telling you, when she discovered that once she became of age and she discovered that she had all of these cousins, it was like, hold on, you telling me I have this slew of cousins down here, and oh my goodness, like everything about her vacations was, I'm going to Florida. I'm going to Florida. I'm going to Florida. Like she wanted to be with her cousins. So, again, she was big about family. The foundation is big about community service. So those are some of the things that we want to focus on. And I want to just throw this out here as far as what is being done annually with Mothers Against Drunk Driving. There is a 5K walk that occurs in October of every year where, it is sponsored by Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons. And it's a big thing that they do annually in October. And it's a 5K walk from Mercedes-Benz starting out and around the block and, so forth. But I'm putting it out there for anybody that want to participate. Registration usually starts, I think, in the end of June or beginning of July. But if anybody wants to participate, I would love for if you can make it up in spirit, if you can come, great. It'll be awesome to have the family there. Just come together as that, event to come together and honor Kennedy, with the walk and so forth. But and then even if you can't make it, just a word of encouragement. But I just wanted to throw that out there. So
thank you for sharing. April,
I like that.
So add anything you want to share?
No, I know. Peggy, just keep us updated. I love text messages in the group, and you can definitely count me in this year, Lord's willing.
I mean, put me in too.
Oh wait, can I rent a golf cart or something?
One last question, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. So my last question, anybody can take. What would you like to see future generations? Once Donna, April, Lisa, Auntie Ruth, Pam, once y'all are older, you got to get old.
Put me out there like I'm in that. Not your plan. Go ahead.
What would the Shaws and Tevins and Kennedy, baby Kennedy and Jelani in the background, Scuba. What do we want to see them carry on? What do we want to see them? How do we want to see the evolution of Grandma's legacy in their lives? Donna, with Tyler.
I'm very clear on that, and a lot of what I do is for that. The world is a tough place, and I want them to know that they are not alone. Y'all come from an army just like we did, but we can only build that if we put them together sometimes. Let them know, like Tyler knowing VJ and, Kennedy coming around. So for me, the biggest legacy is knowing that they got family that love them. They got people that love them. They come from an army of strong people. That's where we all come from. And the more we separate and go in different states, and that's great. But we got to find that time to come back together. And that's how Cousin Party was invented. All your listeners, you guys should know we originated Cousin Parties. You hear it now, but
we finishing it.
We started it.
Now,
we gonna finish.
Well, let me. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in on that. The question that to answer part of your question, Gabby, is that I think it's taking place on its own, because if you look at it, our parents started their parties, and we condone to that. We looked at that. We learned from that, and we started our cousin parties. Now I look at our kids, Jay, Jemiah, all them. Now they doing their little cousin thing. Eventually, I think Kennedy, VJ, Vegas, all of them will see that like, man, my brother, my sister, now, they having fun. Let's do that there too. So they see it. It's just that we got to make sure that we keep leading them in the right path and let them know that, hey, this is what family is all about.
They're out to a good start.
And to say,
Gabby,
they are.
Gabby, if I can say this, Gabby.
I want to say on the shot, and then we'll close out if no anything to say. To chime in on what Scooby said about it naturally happening. I think one thing that I've learned throughout this episode is that it doesn't just naturally. We have to be intentional about carrying on that legacy and the sense of togetherness, because all by the wayside and it's somewhere in passing. So, I would want the listeners of this episode to hear the intention that everybody is saying, that it takes work. It's not an easy thing. Grandma house was the message. It was easy because all shared her in common. Yes, all cousins or siblings or whatever, but it takes a little bit more for us to make that happen. So we have to be intentional. And I'm gonna go with Shaw next, and then I'm gonna go with April, and then we'll close.
Wait, before Shy go, I just want to jump on what you said, Gabby. The reason why it's easy because the seed was already planted by grandma and granddad. So we just have to keep it watered.
Champ.
I done forgot. Now go ahead, April. You go.
So,
ahead,
like, one of the things I can remember, like, going back into that group text that we have, and going back, I can't remember your question verbatim, but helping the younger generation to continue what we have, helping to let them know what we have, and like Donna said, let them know that we are here. Let's go back to Mariah's graduation. Mariah is not connected to us on a daily, like how we are. We are in a circle, a more closer circle. Her dad is, so her dad is not in the inner circle right now, but that doesn't mean we have to neglect her and not reach out to her and let her feel the outpour of love that we share, that we have. Mm-hmm. So when we have times like that and opportunities present itself for us to show that love, let's pour out that love. I said she probably can't even remember who I am, but things like that will help her remember to always know I got them. I got this family. So the ones that we know that's out of touch or out of reach, let's sometimes reach out to them. Let's go and grab them and pull them along the way and say, hey, we can't forget about the Michaels. We can't forget about the CJs, the Mariahs, the Madisons, the ones not in our inner circle. Let's continue to pull and build them. Hey, we're here. Y'all got us. We're going to forever be here, So, when we see an opportunity like that, let's pounce on it. Let's not sit back and say, let's pounce on that. I want everybody to be able to feel this love. It's enough to go around for everybody.
I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to be here with me. It's special to me, and family is even more special. And to close out this episode, I just want to say that it fight back a lot of tears over here. And I want to say, to everybody, I know I can do a better job of showing up. And that is going to be my promise to you guys moving forward, that I'm going to show up, because we tend to do that very late in life with people. So this is in no particular order, but April, Donna, Lisa, Scooby, I just want to say I see each and every day the way y'all do something to get us all on one accord, whether it be a laugh or anything, a meme or anything. And that is very much so appreciated, because a lot of days are hard days, but it's y'all who y'all think outside yourselves. I guess is what I'm getting at. Y'all become selfless a lot of times and just love on those of us who need to be loved on a whole lot. And I'm gonna highlight a lot here, because I see that you two have taken the torch and y'all are running the race. Y'all are running fast, and y'all are pulling us all along the way. And I sincerely appreciate that. I think everybody on this call say the same thing, that I sincerely appreciate you two. And thank you for continuing on the legacy, all the way from Donna chipping up stuff. That's my favorite word to use, a grandma. I thought she was gonna throw that in here at some point. She like to chip stuff when it's time. And April all the way to her too. So I appreciate y'all. I said all that to say I appreciate y'all. And y'all so
you broke up my part. Repeat my part you said.
Thank you, Panky.
You're welcome. I love each and every last one of you. Thank you so much for the support and the love.
Absolutely.
It is very much so appreciated.
I think we can try to do something where we get there in person to do that walk, hopefully. And you can sign me up for it. That is my moving forward. I've not made a lot of things, but I will be there for that. So outside of that, thank everybody so much for tuning in to The Gift of Gab. As always, Take care of
Hey,
yourself. I love
this season 1, episode 1.
Love.
We're not recording. Thank y'all.
Man, you late, man. That girl about in her second season, man.
Baby.
DJ,
That was
big
nice.
hopes.